Hi everyone. So here we are. I got my Captain America shirt on, and we are going to talk about Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And I'm just going to do this review literally at the top of my head, no cuts whatsoever, because I'm kind of in a lazy mood today to do a video with tons of cuts. So Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It's the sequel to the first Captain America. Which I did a review for it literally a few days ago. You can check that out. And it takes place 2 years after the events of the Avengers. And basically, Captain America is just adjusting to, life in the 21st century, And he's working with S.H.I.E.L.D. and he's just like breaking down tons of bad guys and so forth. And there's this bad guy called the Winter Soldier who comes in, blows some shit up, and Captain America has to stop him along with Black Widow and the Falcon. And pretty soon they kind of discover more things about S.H.I.E.L.D., some things that they weren't expecting, and some twists and turns along the way, and I am not going to give them away because I want you to just find out for yourself. So the thing with Captain America: The Winter Soldier for me is that it's based off the Winter Soldier comic book. And I've read the Winter Soldier comic book a long time ago. I think I was like 13 or 14 years old, somewhere at that age. And it's a pretty cool story to read. Just check it out. And the thing about this movie is that, first of all, this movie is a great movie. This is a step up from the first movie, most definitely. And it's pretty faithful to the Winter Soldier comic book as well. That's the thing I was so surprised about. I mean, they took out some things, some characters, and some plot elements from the comic book, but most importantly, it stayed true to the comic book, and I was pretty happy about that. This was such a great movie. I mean, this was kind of what I wanted the first Captain America to be in a lot of ways, and I didn't hate Captain America 1. I really love it. It's just I wanted something more along the lines of this. I wanted to be something along the lines of something this gritty and this real. My camera battery sort of turned off, so that's why there's a bit of a cut right now. But yeah, getting back to what I said before, it did feel like grittier and real. And the best way I can describe this movie to someone who hasn't read the Captain America Winter Soldier comic book is that this is basically a Captain America movie meets a Bourne Identity movie. It has that sort of feel to it, and has that sort of greatness to it, and that's what makes it so great. And the cast of this movie, this movie has a great cast. I mean, Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow and Captain America, they work well together, and they're really good in their roles, and I can't see anybody else playing those roles except Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson. They were great. And then you got Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, and then you also got Kobe Smulders coming back as Maria Hill, that's one thing I got to bring up, is that they give those two characters and Black Widow a lot more to do than they've done in the Avengers or in the previous movies they were in. That's another great thing about it. And also Anthony Mackie is the Falcon. Now, I'd always wanted Anthony Mackie to play the Black Panther because I think he's a great actor, but I think he's just more fit for the Falcon. He's really good. He kind of steals the show in this movie, and he and Chris Evans have such cool chemistry. And I can't see anybody else playing the Falcon than him. It's great though. And then they had Rob Redford as the Secretary of S.H.I.E.L.D. in some way. That's all I'm going to tell about. That's all I'm going to say. And he's pretty good in the movie too. I mean, I remember I told my mom Robert Redford's in this movie. She was like, "Robert Redford is in a Marvel superhero movie? That's weird." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, right?" That's exactly why he's so good in it. It's something you would never expect for him to do. The action in this movie. My main complaint about the first Captain America was the action, because I felt like it was done too montagey, and there was too much CGI. This time around, it's not montage. It's 10 or 15 minutes of non-stop action, and it's awesome, and it's all done for real. That's probably one of the best strengths of this movie, is that it's done for real. They actually blew up those cars. They actually did fights on the street and so forth. It doesn't feel CGI'd. It really happened. That's what made it so good. America the Winter Soldier is a step up from the first movie. It's got better action, it's got better characters, and it really sort of has this really cool theme about the way the government works today as opposed to the way it worked, you know, in the 1940s, and who to trust and so forth. And that's really cool. And so I'm going to give Captain America the Winter Soldier an A. Check it out. During the credits, there are two scenes during the credits, one in the middle and one at the end. And all I can say is that I geeked out so hard, man. I went nuts. That's all I'll say. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on the Winter Soldier. So comment and tell me what you thought about it. Like, subscribe, share, whatever, man. Whatever.